worst, I think, is about a 17-degree temperature differential between the basement and the top floor. The day we moved in, we turned the air conditioning on and there was something wrong. The lawyer that we consulted said, don't pay him a penny until you get your heating and air conditioning issue resolved.
We are going to make one hell of a mess of your fine home.
So subsequent to that, we got sued.
We have lost there, there's no doubt about it. But if we have enough of that, we're going to lose quite a bit by the time it gets upstairs. This is not the way to do it. Mike Holmes, did they actually do this way?
No, they didn't. Motherfuckers. You want a good job? Keep me in shape. I keep contractor.
God, I love my job.
We love the place. Like, it's a great house.
Great neighborhood.
And it's big, and it's got windows on both sides, and it's really bright. And we have a backyard, which we didn't before.
Which we need now that we have 2 dogs.
We love the house. We just don't like the heating and air conditioning.
Today we're going to be looking at a brand new condominium, about 6 units built on an old church foundation. Has a little bit of problem with the HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
Literally, the day we moved in, we turned the air conditioning on and there was something wrong.
And when we addressed it right away the very same day.
Yeah.
And basically, he had told us that the system had not been balanced yet.
The builder that built these units was totally cooperative at the beginning. There was an issue. The city inspector was called in. He wanted to see the plans. He took a look at the plans and right away did not like what he saw.
His contractor engineer came over, and it was clearly obvious that there was something wrong. I mean, the builder was there, the engineer was there, and the 2 of us were there, and he stated in front of us, okay, the builder agreed there's something wrong, we have to fix it.
Stephen, how are you, sir?
Yes.
Nice to see you again. Trevor,
Hey.
nice to see you.
How are you?
We have a new addition to the family here, eh?
Yep.
How are you? What's your name?
This is Gracie.
Gracie. Where's George?
Right behind you.
There's George. Hi, George.
Then the following day, we received a call from the builder saying, we talked to somebody else, we've changed our minds, there's nothing wrong with your system, leave us alone.
My gut tells me we have sloppy installation of the ductwork. When you have 300 CFMs, which is cubic feet per minute, missing, the furnace is giving out approximately 700, almost 800 CFMs, and we're missing 300 of them, it's going somewhere.
The worst, I think, is about a 17-degree temperature differential between the basement and the top floor. We hired our own engineer to do a full assessment and tell us what exactly. Why is there like a different weather system on every floor?
If you're driving force, hot air or cool air from the basement to the top floor, you want to make sure that everything is run perfectly. That's a long distance to run this air.
What you should have is one huge vent going up and tiny little branches going off. Instead, what our builder did was made the main branch in the basement and then have the tiny ducts going all the way up. So by the time everything gets up to the 4th floor, there's not enough pressure.
We consulted a lawyer because his own engineer had told us that something major is wrong, that the pipes needed to be rerun and new duct work and all this kind of stuff.
And we have one duct run out. Why one? This is high efficiency?
Yep. Just at that point, we had owed the builder about, I think, $1,700 that we hadn't paid for upgrades, and the lawyer that we consulted said, don't pay him a penny now until you get your heating and air conditioning issue resolved.
Well, I can see that we are going to make one hell of a mess of your fine home. We are going to have to open up every area, all the drywall to do with the ductwork, to see if we have a break in the line, to see why this is doing this. We have to look for everything, but let's go upstairs and take a look upstairs.
Cool.
So subsequent to that, after refusing to pay for the upgrades, we got sued. All he said was, we consulted another party, and we've now decided there's nothing wrong. That's it. We countersued for $10,000 to get the heating fixed, and so now it's going to court.
We have a register at the door. We should, if I'm right, have a register at that window.
There was no return air on the floor.
On this floor at all.
Okay. And that shouldn't be inside the bedroom. That should be out here in the open area for the stairs.
Exactly. In our other house, it was covered under the Ontario New Home Warranty Program. This one, because it was part of a church, the basement is still part of the old structure. It's not really considered brand new construction. It's considered what, a retrofit? So it's not covered under the Ontario new home warranty program.
Steve and Trevor are gonna have to pay for it themselves and then, you know, cross their fingers that in court they win.
You have to be really sure that the builder that you're hiring is gonna follow up with their warranty, because you have no protection except for going to court.
Man, I just hate to say we're gonna make a messier place. But we'll come in with the guys, we'll cover everything up. This is gonna be one blanketed project.
Yeah.
And we are gonna open up whatever it takes to find out what this problem is. So,
Great.
I think we'll have the engineer come in here too and help us look at it. We'll put this back together and make
Great.
these guys
Thank you.
warm
Thank
in
you.
the winter and cool in the summer. There is a problem. We will find it. Not that in my mind, we will find it. And hopefully that helps them to get their money back. Look at the damage we're gonna do. Electrical lines are not supposed to touch duct lines. We're gonna do a little fogging. Is that what we're gonna do? Why not? Sure.
It gets really hot in the summer, and you know, sleeping in a sauna is not that fun.
We have to put on our Sherlock Holmes hat and take a look, see what we can find out. We're gonna have to move a lot of furniture in here and get this covered up. We're definitely gonna open up in this corner and we're gonna make one hell of a mess. Let's get somebody right now wrapping up everything over here and we'll go downstairs. We're definitely gonna open up your bulkhead, 2 bulkheads. Once we're able to see where the lines come up and go through, that's where we start tracking it. That's where we start opening it upstairs. Let's get the couch, everything against that wall. We'll move that table and chair. And unfortunately, I think we're going there too. And we are, this one. We're opening up the center. Center of this. Okay. I have a real funny feeling they ran that on the exterior wall. They didn't even use the bulkhead. We are going to open this up right here, okay? So rather than plastic everything up in the kitchen, let's get a piece of plastic right across here, okay? This is going to be pain. Let's go upstairs. Okay. Oh, you buggers. How does that overlay? That's interesting. I'm gonna take the dogs, put them in the room. Take you guys home with me, hey? Would you like that? Move in. Hey, George. We got water outside the cage. How you gonna drink that? Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? These cute little guys, hey. Put you right down by Gracie. I just don't want you getting dusty. Just cut a piece to cover that table. To get a drop cloth in this corner, because I'm gonna open up this side. Not only do we want to see it and we want to examine it for drafts, we want to make sure it's insulated. Okay, so obviously we're gonna come in about 3 inches on each side. We're gonna cut a trough.
There we go, flexible ducting. Oh, is this for the fireplace?
Let's get some steel tape on that for sure.
Is that the bulkhead inside?
Well, we'll determine that from downstairs, but you're probably right, Sean. What we're really looking for at this point is we're tracing down a line right here, and this is the one I want to see. Well, this is 2x3 strapping from one side to the other. Why isn't it vertical? They had the height, they have the clearance from here to the ductwork. It's going to be much stronger vertical. This is not the way to do it. See how much play we have here? This is the force there. This is the return. We have lost there. There's no doubt about it. But if we have enough of that, we're going to lose quite a bit by the time it gets upstairs. Well, I'm looking at a boot that comes off the main, and it's an elbow that ties in. It's a boot that comes off the main, comes up, and all they did was metal tape it. Obviously, they thought they needed another line, which the engineer did say. We should have another line going directly up to the 3rd floor. But at this point, we may find a major flaw, you know, a 41% loss, airflow loss upstairs down here, maybe on the 2nd floor. We don't know. We'll trace it, we'll work our way up, and we'll see more. Most installers that put in the ductwork seem to believe that all their joints, everything else, they do it with perfection, that there is no loss. Yet we have statistic reports from 5 to 15% heat loss. Just on joints alone makes no sense to me. Why aren't they taped? You know, we have the tape, they sell the tape. Why not tape them and get that air loss back? Now, it's not highly important that we tape all the vertical lines or the round lines going up. It's just not extremely important because they feed into each other, right? So that causes the airflow to continue through. Where in the main line, because we use joints and cleats that run around here, we have a lot of air loss in here. Now, these I want taped. Unfortunately, nobody really tapes it, you know, unless he really cares, because we know this is where the loss is going to be, on the main or at the furnace. And they really should be taped. It's not a lot of money. Tony.
Mike.
How you doing?
Fine, yourself.
You've looked over the plants, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
What have you noticed?
The furnace is producing about 870 CFM, and we're only delivering about 550 CFM through the outlet. So we're losing 300 CFM somewhere.
Okay, and we gotta find it.
We have to find where it's going. Yes.
I mean, I noticed right away we had a boot coming off the main here, and it was taped up. That's not usual, is it?
No, you would expect to have a metal cap on that, Mike.
It would make sense to me.
Most of the leakage that I could see is really at the traverse joints here. The slip joints haven't been fitted properly.
Well, that's usually about 15%, not
That's correct.
40%.
A good installation, you'd be looking at 5–10%. 15 is already a bit on the high side, but 40% is definitely an extreme. I believe we need to test the source, and this is the source. This is the main supply trunk duct that's feeding all the branches that go to all the outlets throughout the home.
This is a fogging unit, and what's going to happen is as soon as we'll let this heat up a bit, it'll start to fog. The furnace will pick it up and carry it through, and that's what we want to look at.
Is it coming out of the vents? We may have to close some vents off to develop some
It's
pressure.
coming out of the main here. It's coming big time out of there.
Fogging like crazy up there?
Yeah, it's just coughing out of here. I can feel it just
Yeah.
standing here, coming
Oh, yeah.
off of this.
Yeah.
When you see this kind of fog coming out of the main duct, it indicates a lot of leakage at the branch connections and also the traverse joints joining the various ducts.
Tony, I can't fathom the thought, if we close up all these registers, how much is going to come pouring out of this trunk?
A lot more than what we see now, Mike. A lot more.
We're losing quite a bit on all the tops here.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Every scene.
Every single one of us. And the end block, anyways.
Block
it's-
end looks like a real bad one. You know, we're pissing a lot of energy into spaces that we don't need to be. Well, the spiders are pretty comfortable. This is where the highest external static pressure is on the system, the highest pressure. And you note the connection to the furnace?
Oh my God.
Look at that.
Between this and the trunk, I'm surprised we're not losing more.
Without leakage, all you should be seeing is that.
There is no tape whatsoever, no goop, no nothing. We got some goop around here.
The refrigeration pipes are sealed, but the main duct connection, the largest connection on the unit, is not sealed.
You know what that tells us? After we tape all this up, I think we're going to be really good hitting that top floor.
I agree.
We lose it at the furnace, and we lose it on the main branch. Why not tape them? Why isn't this code? On a 4-story house, I would say it's very important that we tape
Very
these
important to
joints.
seal these traverse joints, yes.
And we are smoking out big time. Counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 takeoffs from this main line. 11 takeoffs that will run and feed through the house. I'm gonna get Desmond to clean all the joints where the cleats are, the top. Make sure you wipe around the boots at the top, because you can see this ductwork is full of dirt. Just dirt, and the tape won't stick to that. Watch your fingers, it's very sharp up there. Here we have proper metal duct tape. Has a paper release on the back with adhesive that'll stick to the metal. Now we have 2 thicknesses here. One is going to be for around the boots. The wider tape we want for the cleats. With the wider tape, we'll cover that cleat completely on one strip all the way around. It's funny because everybody talks about duct tape and 1001 uses. Well, that's true, but it's not for duct work. You can use it for anything else. We want to use a metal tape on this. What a way to do this. You know what I just noticed? That this is built on an old church foundation, right? Well, it's not just the foundation. Look at the beam. Look at the floor joists. Look at the old boards. They've actually incorporated the whole old structure into these new condos. I really do believe the code needs to change because in commercial, because they run such long distance spans, every joint has to be sealed. So why not do it in residential? We're probably using a good 200 feet, possibly 300 feet of tape. $10, $10,000 repair? This is a pain in the ass. Now, I can make a fortune, actually, fixing up screw-ups. So what they're doing is keeping someone like me, honestly, in business. So we are going to go and buy some insul wrap. It's about 3/4 of an inch, and one side's a foil. The engineer said it would be good to wrap the whole main duct line, which was going to help keep the heat in and then distribute it. Based on a 4-story, it's something that he's recommending. And I say, I like it.
You got one of those sharp knives?
Yeah, absolutely.
All we're doing is really reducing the amount of heat loss in the ductwork system. You have air that's heated and cooled that's running through the ductwork. So heat or energy is lost through the duct walls. We're adding insulation to form a resistance to heat flow. So we're containing the heat within the ductwork.
Way to go, sorry. Okay, now where do you want this one, you think?
If this was my house, I'd wrap it. This is going to make a huge
Tell me when you
difference
got it. I got it.
in heat loss. Okay, I think we're all sealed up, and we're going to fog this, and we're going to see if our work's any good. Ready to go, Tony?
Ready? Nothing in here. This is perfect.
Okay. Good.
That's perfect.
It's not bad.
Oh, and that's the one that serves the upper loft.
Why don't we just keep fogging it? We'll go up to the 3rd floor and see if we have any nice fog coming out of the registers.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Oh, that just indicates that leakage is reduced significantly.
Today went very, very well. We were able to seal up all the joints in the main line, which was extremely excessive and not easy.
Oh, look at that. Holy cow.
Isn't air such a beautiful thing?
After doing a fog test, we completed our task.
What do you think of that? Excellent.
Tomorrow, we're gonna have them come in and do a balancing test to make sure that we've gained back our 300 CFMs that we're missing. We are insulated on the outside wall. If we don't get our 300 CFMs back, obviously we have another issue, don't we?
Exactly. Yes, we
Okay.
do.
Again, Tony, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Once I get 2 thumbs up, we will close in that bottom bulkhead, plaster, paint, and we're done. They ran the 6-inch line to the 2nd floor, which should have been to the top floor. Once we had actually switched over the 6-inch and the 5-inch line, it made one hell of a difference. If we just tape all this up, seal all this up, that should be enough to recover our 300 CFMs?
Most of it.
Well, after we did the initial wrapping and sealing of the main trunk line, they did a heat loss calculation and determined there still was not enough heat coming out of the ducts on the very top floor. We did gain back almost all the 300 CFMs that were missing. The engineers requested that we open up all the vertical lines all the way up and inspect them as well as wrap them.
Are you guys really friends or what? What's going on here?
We also found out that they ran the 6-inch line to the 2nd floor, which should have been to the top floor. There was a 5-inch to the top floor. What we did was we switched over, continued 6-inch all the way up. With that, with the wrapping of all the lines, it's made one hell of a difference. So I have to agree with the engineer. In the long run, they're gonna be warm and they're gonna be cool in the summer. Oh, this turned out to be a hell of a lot of work. This is not just a couple of punch of holes here. We had holes all over the house. We as builders know that on such a large run in commercial, every joint has to be sealed. What a difference now that we've done that. It's the way it should be. But in residential, as soon as you go 4 stories, it doesn't have to be sealed. That's incorrect. That's a very good color match. I mean, from one paint manufacturer to another, this was good.
Usually I'll take a little piece of the wall to the paint store with me and let the paint store do it. So we can cut off a small piece of the wall behind the switch plate. That's generally the best way.
Keep up the good work, sir.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
We use sheetrock 90. It's harder than a rock to sand, but if you use conventional drywall compound, it would take 36 hours for it to dry, so we never get the job done. So we went with a harder compound. But that's why I'm sanding and I'm sanding and I'm sanding, and when I'm done I'm sanding some more because it's really, really hard. But you get a harder finish, which is great.
We're just getting it cleaned up. The painters are in. We're gonna get all the painting finished up, and then we're going to put all the furniture back and get in their house back and move on. Hey guys.
Hey, there he is.
How's it going? Not so bad. Just finished cleaning your home here.
Are you guys sure you did anything?
Well, we did actually. We had ripped open the ceiling all over here, the bulkhead
Right.
here right down. All this bulkhead right from the top down to the bottom. Let's do a little test here. I think I'm gonna turn on your air conditioning. We'll go check upstairs. We had opened up the front side here, the ceiling. We had changed it over from downstairs from 5 to 6 inch. Let's go upstairs and take a look at that.
So you can't feel the temperature difference anymore, can you?
Well, you notice a big difference, do you, from downstairs to
Oh,
upstairs?
it's how huge, yeah.
Huge difference.
You could feel it between every floor. It's like a different weather system. Now you can't tell.
It's balanced.
It's balanced.
The way it should be.
Yes.
That's good to hear. We have minimum code requirement, and that minimum code tells us how this line has to be run, what size to what room, how to divert different heat patterns to different areas of the house. Residential is a standard 2-story home plus basement. That's what everybody's used to. But now we're building houses 3 stories, 4 stories tall, and using the same formula on a higher run. And that is a big issue. When we did the smoke test here, this one, the smoke was about this high, which really showed we had a problem. Now that we made the changes, I mean, I can really feel it cool. Can you feel that?
Yeah, I can feel it over, yeah.
It doesn't surprise me that we had so much work to do. Based on what we looked at, just at the trunk coming off the furnace and seeing so much air loss in that one area, that's a great indication that whoever did install it, did it everywhere. So we see clearly we have a really nice blow here, really nice blow. For 4 floors up, I like it.
Right.
That's a lot stronger than it was when I first came
Way
here.
stronger than it
There's
was
hardly
before.
anything coming out of there before.
Oh, I feel real good about it. I know that the problem is now solved. I'll pay the extra. Let's get it taped, let's get it wrapped. It's gonna make a difference. I can feel that. Oh my goodness, that's
way,
really nice.
Way better than it was.
This is the issue here. Let's not lose any heat. So we're done. I can pack up.
Thank you very
You don't
much.
do another one?
you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Good luck to you. I hope everything works out for you.
Perfect.
Any problems? Call me. But I don't.
Oh, okay. We'll do
Okay.
that.
You guys take it easy. You do not have to tape the joints. You do not have to insulate the pipe, wrap the pipes like we're doing, or wrap the main line, wrap the pipes vertically. It is not in code. And as far as I'm concerned, it should be code. Another day, another job done. Sure. Desmond. Don. Binge. Tomorrow. All right. See you tomorrow.